Setting the exposure compensation with this camera is really very simple. The way it's done is you need to press this button right here. This is the exposure compensation button. And while you're holding this down, roll the dial next to the shutter button. So you can see that the exposure compensation is changing in third stop increments right now. In the main menu, I can actually change this to half stop increments. Third stop increments are very standard, but if you want to change this to half stop increments, you can do so by going into the main menu, choose the third setup tab, and go to custom functions, then press set, and the very first option is the exposure level increments. By default, it's set to 0, which is third stop increments. If I press set, and go down to half stop increments, then press set to choose that option. I can press menu, and then menu again, and you can see now my increments are set to half stop. Changing the exposure compensation is done no differently. Just press the button and roll the dial. It's really just a personal preference which one you prefer. The reason why you might want to increase the exposure compensation is if you think the picture should be brighter or darker than what the camera assumes it should be. And this can be, for example, in a snow or beach situation where the ground is very bright, the camera may choose a slightly darker image because everything is so bright. But because everything is supposed to be bright, you would compensate for that by increasing the exposure compensation. To find out much more about digital photography and your digital camera, go to lbguides.com.